Hi, John Lay here to talk to you about LMS artificial intelligence at an advanced level. What are some features that you can expect in the industry? Well, like all advanced features, it often builds on the basic feature set and expands upon it. Is a typical pattern. So one, if we look at the same two that we looked at the basic side, the learner side and the administrative side. So from the learner side, the content recommendations just keep getting better. So instead of just based on all the demographics and your habits, of how you interact with content and how long you spend in videos and on pages and in the LMS in general and where you come from and where you go, factoring in all those things for content recommendations, it goes the next step further by comparing it to peers. So finding groups of characteristics of any, however you want to draw that box, very narrow or very big of group of characteristics, and then to see, what those learners are learning and go to and recommend. And so it's common to what you see on Amazon that, customers that browse this ultimately purchase this. It's the same type of concept that it's looking at learners like you and what they've taken over time and being able to factor that into the content recommendations. Pretty sophisticated stuff, but like all things in AI, it works great when you have tons of data, tons of learners, tons of courses, tons of years. That's where AI really shines in those data sets. When you're just getting started or you have small number of any of those things, the data set's not big enough to really take advantage of artificial intelligence. The other, that's like learner content recommendations, like on the fly for learners. The other side of that is for administrators that when they bring in new pieces of content to help target that to the right people administratively. And so that can happen with administrators doing it manually or really just recommending to administrators, where this particular piece of content will go. Once again, if you have thousands of different audiences, that's really helpful. If you have one or two audiences, you don't really need somebody artificial, telling you how to deploy that piece of content. Another big feature set is data visualization. Data visualization is to look at data in a dashboard view and allow you to process trends and actions in that data that would just be impossible if you were staring at a spreadsheet. So the concept of dashboards and the visualization of data isn't new. Where AI and learning management systems really starts taking it to the next level is once again when there's just this enormous amount of data. And so it's hard to do a test item analysis, across lots of different tests. What if that question, showed up in 25,000 places or 250,000 places, a single question or a survey question? How do you comb through that data in any meaningful sort of way to try to see the trends? And so that's what AI is doing, is being able to take vast amounts, millions of lines of survey responses and recognize trends is something that I've seen. So, you have a survey and you get 10 responses, you can read those responses. You get 100 responses, it starts to get out on the edge. You get 100,000 responses, and really what good is that survey data, especially all the free-form answers? This was good, to recognize it as free-form answers would just, all that data goes to waste. And so I've seen AI now be able to take vast survey data and actually make sense of it, comb through all the optional text-in answers, write-in answers, and categorize them as positive, negative, or neutral, for example, to help show trends that you would never be able to get. So in all things artificial intelligence in LMS, they're easy to talk about, they're difficult to show, and they're simple to exaggerate. So you have to take it all with a grain of salt. But where it's going is if you've got a lot of training data, AI is going to be a lot more important to you than if you're just a small training unit. But as time progresses here through the early 2020s, we're going to see that AI and the automation and the LMSs in general teaching themselves and getting smarter to automate training management better and then to automate learning efficacy and effectiveness better in our industry. So we've got a lot of good technology coming to catch up with the rest of the world using AI in different industries.